Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about the mind-muscle connection. Or do you need to focus on a muscle group to get it to grow? Before I get into that topic, guys, I encourage you to stick around the end of this video, find out how you can reach me with your questions and or comments. So, yesterday somebody asked me about traps, and they said they can't feel their traps when they're doing power shrugs. So I believe they wanted to drop the weight so they could get a better feel, implying that the feel was critical for growth. My advice to them, and this is my advice to you guys who are early on in the muscle building process, the guys, that have yet to build a lot of strength and muscle, this is my advice for you during your first 3, 4, 5 years. Don't worry about any of the mind-muscle stuff, all right? You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about it at all. It's not critical for growth. Not focusing on it isn't going to hold back your growth. Right now, what you need is progressive overload in conventional muscle building rep ranges. This will help you get your time under tension. This will help you stimulate muscle growth by adding more weight to the bar, more reps per set each workout, and eventually more weight to the bar. You don't have to feel a connection with a muscle for it to grow. That is not how the human body works. If you step out and start running today, you don't have to have a mind-muscle connection with your quads or your calves or the muscles in your feet for you to improve your athletic performance when it comes to running. If you want to take up pole vaulting, if you want to take up ice skating, you don't have to have a mind-muscle connection to improve your athletic performance, to improve your strength, to improve your results. That's nonsense, guys. That is complete nonsense. You don't need it. What you need is practice in the working on your form, so you can remain consistent without picking up injuries. You need progressive overload, trying to improve on a set each week, adding more reps when you can and adding more weight. And you just need a decent rep range, usually 5 to 12 reps per set for compound movements, and maybe a little bit higher for isolation movements. I find 8 to 15 works for most isolation or machine movements or whatever. But you don't need a mind-muscle connection. I don't care who tells you need it, okay? There are a lot, here's the thing that I see. There's a lot of advanced bodybuilders who, quite frankly, have spent so many years under heavy weights that their joints are beat up. This is a natural occurrence. There's not a lot of talking about periodization in bodybuilding. So most guys go out and they work hard and they work hard and they work hard week in and week out, and during the first 2 years they experience a lot of gains, but they never cycle their training, or they never cycle intensity. Intensity in the muscle building realm or the weight training realm has to do with weight relative to your 1 rep max. So most guys aren't cycling intensity. So sooner or later their joints start to get beat up, and they start to look for ways to train that involve a little lighter weight. When I say lighter, that's relative. I see guys that talk about lighter weight that are doing 315 on inclines for reps. So lighter weight is relative. It doesn't mean they're using a light weight. It just means they're using a little bit lighter weight, which is still stronger than 99.99% of any of us, and it's still a ridiculously heavy amount of weight. So these guys will drop the intensity a little bit. That's the weight. They'll drop the weight just a little bit, and maybe they'll focus on slower negatives, or maybe they'll focus on muscle feel and all this kind of stuff. That's certainly okay once you've built a great amount of muscle mass and your gains are moving so slow it doesn't really matter what you do anyway. It actually makes sense at that point to cycle intensity at some form to save your joints, to stave off injury and so on and so forth. So at that point, after you've built a ton of muscle, after you've built a ton of strength, built a ton of muscle, built a ton of strength, at that point, then if you want to incorporate more high-intensity techniques or drop sets or slower negatives or time reps or whatever, that's perfectly fine. because gains, you've already built 98% of your gains that you're going to see over the course of your life, unless you're using an incredible amount of performance enhancing drugs. So it's not going to really matter what you do at that point anyway, so it makes sense to cycle intensity. Most powerlifters cycle intensity in some form. It's called peaking. But the bodybuilding world, you know, it helps once you become an intermediate, maybe to cycle intensity a little bit. Some of the full body workouts actually have had it in there for quite a while. Cycling intensity and full body workouts has been around. I'm actually putting together a workout right now, an HLM, heavy, light, moderate workout, which has a heavy day on Monday, a light day on Wednesday, and a more moderate day on Friday. Intensity cycling isn't a bad thing, but you don't need the mind-muscle connection. Back on point, you don't need the mind-muscle connection to get a muscle to grow. You don't need that, guys. You don't need it. If you want to improve your golfing, you don't need to focus on, you know, your glute activation, maximizing your glute feel. Or if you want to become a better, you know, sprinter, you don't need to have a mind-muscle connection with your quads. You need to have a decent training program that focuses on, that helps you to reach your goals. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, there is a link below. It is to a forum Q&A. Come on over, ask me any questions you want on strength training, muscle building, diet, nutrition, supplementation, or motivation. And guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.